What's up guys, Excalibur here and welcome back to Star Ocean Anamnesis. So we got another update today and it introduced Precis and Verda and another type of event mission. So I guess we'll take a look at that in sequence, starting with the Temple of Elements vulnerable to fire. I don't think this is the first time we've gotten a fire maze, but we did get fire weapons, so it should be very simple to do now, and there are also a couple characters that have fire abilities. Not many, of course, but you know, you could use those, or you could just grab any of the new fire weapons if you can get your hands on those, and complete this very easily. And the new event that we got is Lucifer's Descent, and can I just say, I really like the art on this. Look at that. That looks amazing. But you can select Precis and Verda in the easy to hard missions, and you can collect Prince Bridge coins as the currency for this event, and you can exchange those in the shop for a lot of stuff, actually, a lot more than we usually get, so this is actually very nice. You got a large limit breaker, a weapon ticket, character tickets, you got threads this time as well, the normal hammers, barrier blaster, and while I'm talking about that, hold on. So this is what the event shop looks like for this event, and as you can see, it's a lot of good stuff, and hopefully the coins are a lot easier to farm than the blossoms from the last event. I still have nightmares of those things. But let's take a look at the first weapon, the Straight Puncher, which increases jump and thump damage by 20%, gives you an additional hit that deals 5% of damage during normal attacks, and let me just quickly check what the other one is, because you can't really do it on this screen. Critical hit damage plus 30%. Amazing. So these are obviously made for Precis, but I wouldn't recommend running them because we have much better arms in the shops, and I think there's another good one in the coin shop. Wait, did I say shops? I meant gacha. We've got some good weapons in the gacha for arms. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend running that, just transmute it. And then we have the Magnetic Rouge gun. I think it's pronounced Rouge. But this thing increases magnetic field damage by 20%, which is one of... what's her name? Verda's skills, and then it also increases attack by 5%, and it gives you 5% lifesteal at max limit break. So this one is actually a bit better than the arms, because Verda can actually get some use out of this. It increases her attack stat, which I don't really think that matters too much for her, but that lifesteal is pretty decent. Although, then again, we do have the Stormbolt in the actual shop. But this thing's pink! It's pink, look at it. So you can run that if you want, but I just recommend you transmute it into Stormbolt. It's a lot better. So I think that's it for that. But oh yeah, that's right, the Silent Guard. No, go back. Go back. So the Silent Guard gives you 40% chance of silence nullification and reduces in damage taken. Not as good as some of the more recent accessories that we've gotten, but it does have its uses, especially in this event. So I would suggest keeping at least one copy of this. And then in the gem shop, we have two new sets. The Star Ocean 5 3rd Anniversary set, first of all, which costs 10,000 gems and contains an ace ticket, weapon ticket, limit breaker, star seed. Sounds like a steal, right? That's what nobody would say ever, because it's very terrible. Don't buy it. Definitely don't recommend you do anything with it. But then we also have the Lucifer's Descent item set, which is 5,000 gems, a lot more manageable. And it contains an ace ticket, weapon ticket, platinum prisms. So the ace tickets guarantee you a 5-star ace character, but it doesn't have like any rate ups. So for instance, if you're rolling on the gacha with gems, you have a higher chance of getting the character that's currently on the banner. But with the ace tickets, that's not the case. The character on the banner can appear in the ticket gacha, but they don't have a higher chance of appearing. So make that decision for yourself if you want to buy the ace ticket, which guarantees you the 5-star, or just roll with gems, which gives you the higher chance of getting the 5-star that you want. And here's the actual 3rd anniversary notice. There's 4 parts to this event. First of all, the item set, which we already looked at, the character draw, which I'll get to later, and then there's also a login bonus, 500 gems, stamina ticket, weapon ticket, character ticket, and limit breaker. Make sure you log in, because those are some good rewards, aside from the stamina ticket, but you know, all the other stuff is good. And then there's also another gem sale, so if you're planning on buying gems, now would be the time to do it. Alright, and here is the new thing, the event mission schedule. They finally put out a schedule for this stuff, amazing. So, in case you don't know, the event missions are obviously located in the event mission tab in the bottom left corner, and they basically contain resources that allow you to level up your characters. So you have the enhancement missions, which appear every single day, and the all-type mission is also available every single day. You have the ingot missions, which only appear during the weekends, and definitely farm those because those are very good. And then the weapon and accessory enhancement missions appear every other day, so they alternate. And then we have the seed missions. These are Frostry and Crystal Guardian. I love these. And then mission tickets. So the mission tickets, you can actually get these from event shops, and you can use them in the actual event tab to unlock basically these missions on the day that they're not available. I'll show that off in a second. And then there's this, the Rewards Galore ticket mission. So the Rewards Galore ticket mission is available at any given time, and you can choose any one of these missions, and you can see that they cost 4 mission tickets and 1 stamina, but they give you a ton of rewards. So this is the Exploration Points mission. It gives you, I think, 5,000 XP, so your XP is up there. It gives you 5,000, which is usually enough to level up, and it only costs 4 mission tickets, so that's very nice. Then the Starseed mission, I don't really recommend you do this one because you could just farm Crystal Guardian and Frostry. Then you have the Enhance and Augment mission. This one has the Enhance and Augment materials, obviously, like prisms and the orbs. This one is a bit better because it does contain these very rare orbs, but you know, I've got 500 of that, so I'm not really in desperate need of these things. But I guess you could do it if you need those rainbow crystals for whatever reason. And then we have the Thread mission, which this one is actually pretty decent because it contains platinum threads as well as normal 4-star gold threads, and these are very rare. They are starting to appear in event shops now, but they are still very rare. So if you want to use your mission tickets for that, I do recommend you do that because that's pretty good. And then the hammer missions, yeah, I don't recommend you do these because these are also very easy to get from events. But out of all of these missions, the one I think you should farm is the Exploration Points one, because all of the other stuff can be gotten outside of this mission very easily. Like the enhancement missions are available right there, the thread missions are also available, seeds can be gotten from Frostry, and then the hammers are also sometimes here. I don't know when those appear, but those are there as well. And the exploration points, those are the only ones that you can't farm effectively. You could farm like 828, and that gives you about 300 exploration points, I think, but that costs about 28 stamina every single run, and this is just a lot easier, so definitely recommend you do this. And then here's the Star Ocean 5 exclusive character draw. So if we go to the odds, you can see that the characters available here are 5 stars and 4 stars. And if you've gotten all of these 4 stars max limit broken already, that means that whenever you pull them again, you get medium limit breakers, and this draw is only 1,000 gems for 10 characters, which means that usually you average like 8 or 9 medium limit break materials in every single pull. So this would be the way to get a lot of medium limit breakers, although I don't really recommend you do it because limit breakers are, I don't want to say easy to get, but they are very common in events and such, and those item sets as well. So I would just suggest you save your gems for that stuff and don't spend them here, or just save them for other character draws. You'll get the limit breakers eventually. And the first of the new weapons we got is the Trigger Happy Bunny Gun, which imbues your attacks with fire, gives you a 70-20 guts, and at max limit break, you unlock single target damage plus 10%. So this thing is actually very good because it's the only fire gun that we currently have available. I guess I should say that fire is one of the most rare elements that we currently have. I think there's only... the only fire weapons that we have are a fire blade and sheath, this thing right now, and a bunch of fire knuckles. I don't think any of the other classes aside from invokers have like any fire related stuff. So this thing is actually really good if you're planning on using sharpshooters. Highly recommend you pull for it, especially because it's in a gacha with only 2 weapons, so you have a 50-50 chance of getting it. That's incredible. So if you want that, I highly recommend you pull for it, and I'm going to do a pull on that as well. I might do that at the end of the video. But then up next we have the Crimson Nail Claws, which also imbue your attacks with fire, give you single target damage plus 10%, and at max limit break you unlock 15% chance of causing stun. So these, unfortunately, are not as... or I guess I should say that we have a lot of other Fire Knuckles already, so that makes these not very wanted, but they are good if you get the max limit broken, because the extra chance of causing stun is really good. The single target damage, that usually gets overwritten by defenders, but yeah, if you can get your hands on this, and if you can max limit break it, I do recommend you run it. But of course, we have the, let's see, the Feral Caltrops, which are free from the Executioners, who are up right now, so you can farm them and then buy the Feral Caltrops from the event shop, and the Black Flame Gloves are also in the gacha. Alright, and the first of the new characters that we got is Precis. She increases the hit count timer by 3 seconds, increases her own attack stat by 25% when the hit count is at 100 hits or more, increases critical hit chance by 30% when you're standing at close range, and she also reduces her own AP cost by 40% when the skill chain is at 3 or more. And then her rush has a huge 4500% multiplier. It also gives you HP regen every 5 seconds for 15%. That's not too bad. It's also not that good, but it's an HP regen nonetheless. And then her battle skills have some decent multipliers to them. Those AP costs get less once you reach skill chain 3, so that's good. But something else worth mentioning is her attack stat, which is sitting at a massive 2573. Absolutely amazing. But with her second talent, it actually does go up to like 3200 or 3300, but that's once you reach 100 hits, which actually isn't too difficult to get nowadays with Bride Maria, for instance. And once you reach that, her rush actually does really good amounts of damage, especially if you have an elemental weapon equipped. But aside from that, she can't really do much else. Like, the only thing she has going for herself is her attack stat. She's kind of like Mirage in that sense, where she has a good attack stat, but she doesn't have anything to supplement her damage output. A character like Winter Fidel, for instance, he has the attack stat, but he also has talents on top of that that further increases damage output. She doesn't really have anything of the sort, and her party buffing is also terrible, with crit hits plus 30%, and the HP regen also is not very necessary nowadays, especially not because people are running healers a lot of the time. Like, I see a lot of Reynas, a lot of Relias and Finas in multiplayer, so the regen, while that's nice, a different type of post-rush buff would have been preferred. And then her battle skills are also not that great when it comes to dealing damage. And then we have Verda, who's an interesting character, just like her Valentine counterpart. So her first talent reduces the enemy's attack by 5% when they are hit by magnetic field. Her second talent increases the damage that we can do to enemies when they get hit by split shot or gravity slug. Her third talent increases the party's damage by 30%, and her last talent nullifies silence for the entire party for 180 seconds after the fight starts, and nullifies the rush gauge reduction field for herself and close range weapon allies. And her rush has the standard 3500% multiplier, and the post-rush buff increases the party's attack damage dealt by 30% and their movement rate by 30%, all for 20 seconds. And then all of her attacks have good hit counts to them. That's to be expected from a sharpshooter. And she has 2 close-range attacks and 2 long-range attacks. So the reason why Verda is so interesting is because of these 2 debuffs right here. There aren't many characters in the game that can actually debuff the enemy. Valentine's Verda is one of them, I think Rain, and Valentine's Welch. There might be more, I could be forgetting about them, but those are the only characters that can debuff the enemy, and because of that, it's actually pretty cool because it doesn't stack with anything, or it doesn't overlap with anything that we have. She does only have a 30% damage buff, which kind of sucks now that we have Awakened Maria, who has like a 50% damage buff. We have 9S, we have Bride Maria, who all have better damage buffs, so unfortunately she can't compete with them, and this one is incredibly situational, and the rush gauge reduction field only applies to short range weaponry allies, and we already have other characters that can do that. So aside from the debuffs, she's not that interesting. She can rack the hit count because she does have some really good hit counts, and she also has the attack damage buff and the movement rate buff, which are also very rare. So Verda would be a decent sharpshooter to run in multiplayer. She can definitely bring something that other sharpshooters can't do. So she's a very decent character, I would say. But neither of these are limited, so you'll always have a chance to get them. So if you don't want to spend your gems on this banner, you could always wait for another limited banner and then just pray to RNGesus that you get one of these. Alright, but I want to do a pull on this banner, so I'm going for the Trigger Happy Bunny gun, obviously. So cross our fingers and hope that I get something good. Alright, this was the guaranteed one, right? Oh man, I hope it was. Oh, is that 3 5-stars I see? I mean, hey, those 3 5-stars could be anything. They could even be 3 claws. And I was actually looking for more 3-stars, so this does work out. Because my inventory is filling up again. Hey, there it is. Yes, got it. Alright, so there's 2 more 5-star weapons left. And I can just sit back and relax because I already got the weapon. Amazing. Yeah. But as I was saying, my inventory is kind of filling up with weapons, so I am looking to transmute some stuff. Of course, I do need more hammers to level up the weapons that I currently have, so I could, you know, transmute them. Alright, Twin Koro Swords. Hey, claws. I don't really have any knuckle character, so I don't have a use for that. Okay, well, man, I was actually hoping for another copy of the Trigger Happy Havoc gun, but I guess 1 copy is good enough. I'll take it. I should probably lock this. Oh wait, you can't do it from the screen? Oh well. Oh well. Well, I guess I got it, so I hope you guys get what you get, or what you want from your pulls as well. Hopefully you don't get like 3 copies of the opposite thing that you want. But I guess that's it for the update, so I guess I'll catch you all later. Peace!